Hello, children. I hope you are all fine. Good. Stay home and stay safe. Okay. Today we are going to see poem 9. Okay. The topic of the poem is Abu Ben Adam, and it was written by Leigh Hunt. Okay. About the poet, he was a part of the Romantic movement in English literature, and he was a poet, essayist, editor, writer, and critic. Among his well-known poems are Jenny Kiss Me, Abu Ben Adam, and Night Rain in Summer. Okay. And this poem, now I hope that many of you might have heard the story. It's a story which you might have learned in your primary classes. The same story we are going to see. Here is the poem. You can see the poem here, or else you can see it from your book also. Okay. Next, I have given the explanation. See, the speaker blesses Abuban Adam, who has just woken up from a deep, peaceful sleep. Just see, Abuban Adam, may his tribe increase, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace. Can you see? So, Abuban Adam, he was now sleeping. At that time, okay, the speaker, no, in the bracket it was given, may his tribe increase. That is, he is blessing that people like Abu has to be increased, has to be multiplied, okay. And from one night, okay, he was sleeping, and that too from a deep dream of peace. It shows that without any worries he was having a very peaceful sleep. From that deep sleep, okay, he just awoke one night and saw within the moonlight in his room, making it rich and like a lily in bloom, an angel writing in a book of gold. So what happened, you see, when he was waking up from the dream, he was looking around, no, his bedroom, it was lit with moonlight, and he was noticing that, okay, it was filled with loveliness like that of a blooming lily. Okay, see, just if your room was fully filled with lily flowers, how it will be, such a brightness it was there. And inside his room, in the midst of that light, an angel was writing in a golden book. See, an angel writing in a book of gold, exceeding peace, had made Ben Adam bold, and to the presence in the room he said, what writest thou? The vision raised its head, and with a look made of all sweet accord, answered the names of those who love the Lord. Okay. Now when he awoke, no, he saw his room was fully filled with light, and he saw an angel sitting and writing in a golden book. Okay. So Ben Adam, he was a very good man, very honest and truthful man, so he didn't do any sin. He was a righteous man. He was obeying God. So he doesn't have any fear. So boldly he asked the angel, what are you writing? Okay, now the angel, no, just raised its head, and with the look of all sweet accord, means the angel was very sweet, okay, very lovely. It was very, it was very kind, no, and it was answering the names of those who love the Lord. I'm writing the names of those who love the Lord. So if anybody says like that, immediately in curiosity we will ask, isn't it, whether my name is one. Likewise, Abu also asked, and is mine one? Said Abu. Nay, not so, replied the angel. Okay, but when Abu asked this question, whether my name is also one among the names who love the Lord, the angel said, no, your name was not in the list. So Abu spoke more low, but surely still, and said, I pray thee, then write me as one that loves his fellow man. Suppose if we ask a question and if we get a reply, a negative reply like this, how we will feel? Immediately we will feel dejected, depressed. No, we say, see, I'm doing this and that for God, I'm praying all this time, I'm helping the poor, I'm doing this, that. But how comes that my name is not in the list who love the God, isn't it? It is our human nature. But Abu, no, he didn't feel. He cheerfully said that, then okay, if my name is not in the list of those who are loving the Lord, just write my name. I request you to write my name in the list of those who love his fellow man. Okay, so he's saying, if my name is not in the list of those who love the God, just write my name in the list of those who love his neighbors. Okay. The angel wrote, okay, the angel wrote his name, and it vanished and it disappeared. The next night it came again with a great awakening light, and showed the names whom love of God had blessed, and lo, Ben Adam's name led all the rest. Okay. And the next night, no, again the angel came, and now it showed, no, the names of first day it wrote the names of who love God, but in the next night it showed the list of whom God loves. Okay, in that list, whose name was the first? Abu Ben Adam name was the first. Okay, now do you understand this poem? Just by one reading itself, you can understand. I will read the explanation for you. The speaker blesses Abu Ben Adam, who has just woken up from a deep, peaceful sleep. Looking around his moonlit bedroom, Ben Adam notices that the room is filled with a sense of pure loveliness, like that of a blooming lily, by the presence of an angel who is writing in a golden book. Ben Adam's peaceful life thus far has made him fearless, and so he asks the angel what it is writing. Looking up compassionately, the angel answers that it is making a list of the people who love God. Ben Adam asks if his name is on this list. It isn't, replies the angel. Unworried, Ben Adam implores the angel to record his name as some that loves other people instead. The angel fulfills Ben Adam's request before disappearing. The next night, it returns in a blaze of light, holding a new list of people blessed by God. Ben Adam's name is at the top. I hope you might have understand the poem, isn't it? Very easy poem. By one reading itself, you can understand it, okay? Now let's see the literary devices. Okay, first assonance. What is the meaning of assonance? Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. For example, um, the sound of E in making it rich and like a lily in bloom, and the sound of O in Abu spoke more low. O sound, you can say Abu spoke more low. Can you see that O sound? So that is assonance, the repetition of vowel sounds. Consonants, the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line. For example, the sound of N in and is mine on and in the sentence like nay not so, and the sound of it and the angel wrote and vanished the next night. Okay, now alliteration, you know, the repetition of consonant sound in the same line in quick succession. Okay, that is immediate in the next word. Okay, or after. Okay, in the same line, the same consonant sound will be repeated and it will appear as the first letter. Okay, for example, the sound of ill in making it rich and like a lily in bloom. See, like lily, ill sound is there, no? That is alliteration. And the sound of da in awoke one night from a deep dream of peace. Deep dream. Okay, so the da sound. And the sound of in the angel wrote and vanished the next night. Okay, so these are the alliterations present here. And the next one more alliteratory device is enjambment. Enjambment is nothing but for example, when you keep a full stop, what's the meaning? The sentence gets over. Next, you are going to start a new sentence, isn't it? But here, no. Even though the first line is over, but the sentence doesn't come to an end. It will keep continuing in the next line also. Okay, that is called as enjambment. See, it is defined as a thought in verse that does not come to an end at a line break. Instead, it continues in the next line. For example, Abu Ben Adam. So, Abu Ben Adam, whether it is complete? No, the name alone given. So the next line till it is continuing, isn't it? What is continuing in the next line? What is Abu Ben Adam doing? He awoke one night from a deep dream of peace. Okay, this is called as enjambment. And few more literary device. Imagery for the last poem itself, I explained. It makes you to imagine, okay, through your five senses. Likewise here, an angel writing in a book of gold. So if when you while reading this line, you might have imagined an angel, okay, sitting in a bed having a book of gold. So you can imagine, isn't it? That is imagery. Then simile, it is also a figure of speech used to compare an object or a person with something else to make the meanings clear to the readers. For example, making it rich and like a lily in bloom. So now the poet wants us to understand how the room is filled with the moonlight. For that light, he is comparing to the lily in a bloom. So here the comparison is made to make the readers understand, isn't it? That is simile. For simile, the keywords are as, like, and so. Through using these three words, the comparison will be made. Okay. Then symbolism. Symbolism is the use of symbols to signify ideas and qualities by giving them symbolic meanings different from the literal meanings. Okay, actually, symbolism is nothing but when you take that word separately, it will give a different meaning. But when the poet uses these words in his poem, it will give a different meaning. For example, here angel, light. When you take light, normal light isn't it? But here the words angel and light are used to represent spirituality. Okay, so this is symbolism. When you take the word light and angel, normally we will just have some other different meaning. Light, something from opposite of a darkness, that's all. But when you just read this word light in this poem, you get the meaning. It symbolizes spirituality. Okay, this is symbolism. That's all, children. These are the literary devices used in this poem. And thank you, and I hope that you have understood the poem. Okay, children, after watching this video, complete the workbook exercises. Okay, keep watching, don't waste your time, children. Go through the video once again. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you, children. Bye.